Depression affects 280 million people worldwide. But what if I told you evolution designed your brain this way, and it actually saved your ancestors' lives? You wake up already exhausted. Everyone tells you to try harder, think positive, get out of your head. Here's what they don't understand. Your brain isn't broken. It's doing exactly what it was built to do. For 200,000 years, when humans faced threats they couldn't escape, starvation, winter, exile, the ones who survived weren't the ones who kept trying. They were the ones who shut down, who conserved energy, who stopped wasting resources they couldn't afford to lose. Depression was survival mode, not a bug, a feature. The problem? Your brain can't tell the difference between a famine and your life right now. So it locks you in the same shutdown protocol. But here's what's actually keeping you trapped. Your brain isn't just protecting you from the world, it's protecting you from something inside you it thinks is even more dangerous. From the outside, you look lazy. From the inside, you're fighting a war nobody can see, and there's a specific reason your brain won't let you win. Every morning, your brain runs a cost-benefit analysis on getting out of bed, and it fails. You open a text, delete it, rewrite it, don't send it. Your brain is suppressing your movement, turning your speed to 0.5x. But why? Here's what people miss. You're not avoiding life because you're depressed. You're depressed because your brain has reclassified life itself as a threat. That meeting, threat. That hobby you used to love, threat. Because what if you try it and feel nothing? And there's a neurological reason this question terrifies your system. This is anhedonia, the shutdown of your dopamine reward system. Your brain has severed the pathways that make things feel worth doing, because hope, to a threatened nervous system, is the most dangerous emotion. Hope means trying. Trying means pain. But pain isn't what your brain is actually protecting you from. You look at your life like you're watching someone else's documentary. Your brain marks this as confirmation. See? Safer here. But safer from what? Every day you stay in shutdown, your brain gets better at being depressed. And there's a biological reason it rewards you for staying there. This is neuroplasticity, your system rewiring based on what you do most. Right now, nothing. But it's not just building habits, it's building something permanent. Your brain is physically shrinking. The hippocampus, memory and regulation, reduces. Your prefrontal cortex, decision-making, atrophies. Not because you're broken, because your system is resource managing in a way that makes reversal harder every single day. And while this happens, your body does something that creates a trap most people never escape. Your brain activates your immune system, producing inflammatory chemicals like you're fighting infection. Except there's no infection, there's just you. And this creates a feedback loop. This is why depression feels physical. The aches, the fog, your body treating your life like a disease. And the longer this goes on, learned helplessness. You've tried to escape so many times that your brain stops believing escape is possible. But the real trap isn't what you think. The threat isn't outside. The threat is hope itself. So your brain cuts hope at the root. You identify with it. I'm just a depressed person. Your brain, trying to protect you, has imprisoned you in the very thing it was trying to prevent. But the thing it's protecting you from, it happened years ago, and your nervous system never forgot. So what is your brain actually protecting you from? Your depression didn't start with adulthood stress. It started when your nervous system learned something so dangerous it had to lock it away. And that lock thing is making every decision right now. This is attachment theory. As a child, your brain was building a map. Can I trust people to be there? For many, the answer was no. And what happened next is why willpower doesn't work. Your brain calculated, don't need, don't ask, don't expect, And then it did something that explains why you can't try harder. Your depression isn't about now, it's about then. Your brain is still operating off a threat assessment from when you were 7. When asking for help got you dismissed, when emotion got you punished. And there's a moment when this becomes permanent. Your nervous system built a wall, not to keep people out, to keep something in. And that wall has a function that makes breaking through almost impossible. So when you isolate, it doesn't feel like choice, it feels like survival. But here's what's actually happening. Hypervigilance in disguise. This is dorsal vagal shutdown, the deepest survival mode, the play dead response. And there's a reason it won't release you. It's triggered by a belief your body accepted as truth. You are fundamentally unacceptable as you are. Where did this come from? Your family, your school, your culture. And when you weren't enough, your brain didn't question the standards. It questioned you. You can't remember when this belief took root. It wasn't one trauma. It was 1,000 micro-rejections. Moments where you showed up and got the message, be less. And there's a reason these small moments destroy you more. This is complex PTSD, chronic relational trauma. Your needs were unmet. Your nervous system learned expressing needs is dangerous. So it did something to protect you that now feels like a prison. It stopped letting you have needs at all. Your brain isn't cruel, it's terrified. And it thinks keeping you small keeps you safe. But there's one thing it doesn't understand. One signal that tells a nervous system it's safe enough to unlock. So how do you convince your brain it's safe to come back to life? Here's what won't work. Positive thinking. Trying harder. Your brain doesn't respond to logic in survival mode. It responds to one thing most people accidentally do the opposite of. Safety signals, not thoughts. Actual proof, delivered through your body, that the threat is over. And there's a specific sequence that reverses shutdown. But if you do these in the wrong order, you'll reinforce the pattern you're trying to break. First, your depression isn't the enemy. It's a defense system that worked. The problem isn't that it activated, it's that it never got the signal to stand down. So you don't fight it. You renegotiate, and the first move determines everything. Shift 1. Stop trying to feel better. Start trying to feel real. Your brain shut you down because feeling was dangerous. So the goal isn't happiness. It's to feel anything without triggering shutdown. This is affect tolerance. And there's a biological reason you have to start where no one expects. Sensations, not emotions. I'm cold, my shoulders are tense. Sounds too simple. It's not. Every time you notice without numbing, you're creating a neurological pathway that's been severed, and this pathway reconnects you to something offline since childhood. Shift 2. Movement before motivation. In shutdown, wanting is offline, so you move first, not because you want to, but because movement speaks directly to the part of your brain words can't reach. Not exercise, just movement. Stand up, walk to the window. Every time you move when your brain screams, stay down, you're practicing agency. An agency triggers a chemical cascade that's been dormant, but here's what makes this actually work. This is behavioural activation, action that creates motivation, not the other way around. Your brain rewires based on what you do, not what you think. And there's a threshold, usually around day 7, where this compounds faster than you would expect. But most people quit on day 3. Shift 3. Proximity before connection. Your brain isolated you because people felt dangerous, so you can't just reach out. You need proof first. And proof doesn't come from talking. It comes from something that feels almost too passive to count. Co-regulation. Being near another nervous system without needing anything from it. Sitting in a coffee shop. Walking near people. Sounds like it wouldn't matter. It's the most important thing you can do, because your brain isn't looking for connection. It's looking for evidence that proximity doesn't equal threat. You try once, it feels awful. But that's data, so you repeat. Same coffee shop, same time, same neutral proximity. Not to feel good, to teach your body nothing bad happens here. And somewhere between repetition 8 and 15, something in your nervous system quietly unlocks. Shift 4, boundaries prove you matter. Your depression convinced you that needing less keeps you safer. So you shrank, stopped asking, stopped expecting, and your brain marked that as proof. We don't matter, but boundaries aren't selfishness. They're the evidence your nervous system needs. Every time you say no to something that drains you, not because you're broken, but because you're conserving yourself, you send your brain a signal. It's been starving for since childhood. You're worth protecting, not from the world, from the belief that you're not. This isn't fast, there's no switch, but there is accumulation. Every small moment of agency, every time you move when you don't want to, every time you sit near people and survive it, your brain collects evidence. And somewhere between week 3 and week 8, something shifts you won't notice until you look back. The threat level drops, not to 0, but to manageable. And manageable is where life starts again. You're not broken, you're adapted. The system keeping you depressed is the same one that kept your ancestors alive. The problem isn't the system, it's that the threat it's designed to protect you from no longer exists the way it thinks. Your brain is running 200,000-year-old software on a 2025 life. It can't tell the difference between a predator and a world that just wants you to be more. So it does what it's always done, shuts you down to keep you safe. But the modern threat isn't something you can hide from. It's something you have to move through. And moving through it requires something your ancient brain doesn't understand yet. You have to signal safety to yourself, not through thoughts, through action, through repeated lived experience that you can handle being alive. Depression isn't what happens when you're weak. It's what happens when your brain is so committed to keeping you safe that it would rather shut you down than watch you get hurt again. That's not cruelty. That's devotion. But here's what it doesn't know. You were never meant to feel nothing. You were meant to feel everything and survive it. The system holding you down isn't your enemy. It's the part of you that never learned you're strong enough to feel without breaking. That pain isn't a threat. It's information. And information, when you can finally hold it, is what sets you free. Your brain wanted you depressed because it thought that was the only way to keep you alive. It was wrong, but it wasn't malicious. And now you can show it what survival actually looks like. Not shutdown, not numbness, not disappearing, but coming back. One small, terrifying, beautiful step at a time.